Today's video, we're going to talk about kitchen remodeling advertising and how to run an online advertising campaign for any kitchen remodeling business every time with results literally every time. Exception, I will admit, is if you had 5 or 10 guys already trying to run this same system in your localized market, which the chances are of that are like 0.001%, because this isn't, at least at this time, the biggest channel on YouTube about how to advertise your business online yet. Certainly think will be there within the next 5 years, but we'll see, I guess. I said it, now I got to make it happen. But with that said, the reason why I can give you this information is because I've ran several kitchen remodeling campaigns, so I'm just giving you what exactly works in our space. And the reason why I've done that is because I have an advertising agency that I've ran for 10 years now and worked with hundreds of accounts and hundreds of different niches, of which the home services space is a hot category that we've done a lot of work in. Why? Because a lot of, no offense to any handyman or people, blue collar business guys, they are not super enthusiastic about figuring out every detail about Google ads and Facebook ads and so forth. And they need some help. Or the upside to it is that because nobody else wants to study this stuff, they find it kind of annoying. You understand truly what gets results, you will crush it in your local market. It's really that simple. That, and in general, people don't only want to spend so much on a marketing consultant, and then what they get is usually working on their stuff. And I can say that confidently because I see other people's work that before I come into an account and take it over, what they're doing is just garbage most of the time. So you just have to be slightly competent in what you're doing, and that is actually understanding the principles of advertising that gets it to work, and you'll get results. So I will go through what these are. I'll also go through the exact results that we were getting. If you stay to the end of the video, I will go through and you'll know exactly how much money you can make from these methods in your own market, in your local market. It will vary a little bit geographic territory, but for the most part, this is what you're gonna average out at, and it all depends on how many competitors you have advertising in your local market, like I was mentioning at the start of this video. So I am Corey Ziman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. We do that by a number of different means, but we do not take a management fee until you get a certain amount of minimum profitable results with your ads in addition to what you already have or upfront, which should tell you something about the quality of the information that you're getting on today's video here. With that said, getting into the content, what I've broken this out to, is the different ad platforms that actually work for your business. I didn't get into Facebook ads here just for brevity. Otherwise, I could go on and on and on in terms of details here, and I would just bore you to death. Facebook ads can work at the very least when you do what is called remarketing. Once somebody goes to your site, you should be showing them all your before and afters over and over and over and again, and all your reviews and all your ratings and awards and all this to get them to close the deal, because your competition won't be doing it. And one of the main ways you do that is you run ads on Facebook to people who've been to your site before. For new prospecting leads, kitchen remodeling on Facebook, it's not the best, at least until you get into running serious, like if you were spending already 100 grand a month on advertising, you do throw Facebook in there. That's not where most of you guys are at. Why? Because you can actually get access data lists of people that are in market for a kitchen, and you can upload them to Facebook and advertise that list, and it is profitable. It's just expensive to get into it. So most of you guys, at the very least, should save that to last. This is all stuff here that's turnkey for any business starting out, but even then, there's a process that you go through. You start making money basically on Google/Bing, then you get into running ads on YouTube, demand gen campaigns through your Google Ads account, and display ads through your Google Ads account as well, in terms of getting out in front of new people. And then obviously, like I mentioned already, you should already know that anything you do here, you should be spending another 10% of whatever you're spending to get people that are unaware of you yet to your site, to remarket to them to close the deal, because you're going to double the amount of money you're making with really good remarketing on the back end, video testimonials, all this stuff showing up for people after they hit your site. Why? Because usually people, as you know, get multiple quotes. They're not just buying on price. They're going to buy on reputation and quality, convey quality, then to have literally a metric ton of different video testimonials popping up for that person over the next 3-4 weeks as they're trying to decide which contractor to go with. You've made it so ridiculously obvious who to go with at that point in time that you just end up with the business twice as often as what you would otherwise, which is why it's going to double the productivity of your methods here to get traffic, general demand in your business and your services that you have. So with that said though, you should take your money, like I said, start out making money on Google. When you make money on Google, you go and reinvest that into getting Bing working. Then you're going to reinvest that and get that display ads working. And I'll go through each one of these in detail, as well as the cost per lead we're getting and so forth. So with that said, on Google, it's pretty obvious. The reason why you start out with Google is because it's so turnkey. These people are already ready to buy, and you don't have to have that sophisticated of a sales process. Once you start getting into marketing to people who are not ready to do business with you quite yet, you gotta have a good sales process. You gotta have good email marketing, drip sequences. More importantly, you gotta have a salesperson who knows how to sell, not just some clueless secretary answering the phone, because that ain't gonna work at that stage. Whereas the Google ads, if you set them up right, you could have a complete doofus answering the phone and you're still gonna make sales. Because the person's already ready and they're just calling, they say, when could you come out and give me a quote? Boom. I mean, there's nothing to do. You're just hiring an order taker is much easier than a salesperson. So with that said, you got two basic groupings of traffic though from your Google ads. You got the general terms, people typing in like kitchen remodeling service, kitchen remodeling contractor, and then service specific searches you want to actually get that are profitable as well, which is searches like granite countertop installation, kitchen cabinet installation, and so forth. Now the difference in quality and closing rate on these leads and whatnot, you're gonna average out closer to about $125 per lead when you're talking about the generalized searches, okay? And your closing rate on those leads should be around 20% if you have an average sales process. If you have a really good sales process, it can be 30 or 35. There's many factors. Half of your money is just in the sales process, half is in the lead creation, because the speed of response, how you respond, do you have a scripted process? All of that's going to determine if the other half of the money that you're going to get. Now, when you talk about the service specific here, okay, now you're talking about closer to $60 a lead and a closing rate that's higher, should be around 25%. The reason for that is you're narrowing the amount of options available to the consumer, and the price of the service is going to be less. A granite countertop job might be $3,000 versus a kitchen remodeling job can be 35, 40 grand. Naturally, it's going to be harder to sell somebody on a bigger job where they're committing to spend more money than it is on a smaller job. When you look at the numbers, ultimately, your generalized searches are more profitable. Yes, that is the case. If you were thinking that already, that is the case. So you should go after the kitchen remodeling contractors, all that first, because you have bigger jobs and the closing rate is still decent for the amount of jobs you're going to get. You just have to be good at your sales process still, because there's a lot of competition. That's where the really good remarketing comes in, like I talked about before, where you're hammering them with before and afters and whatnot. So that's Google, okay? In any kind of average populated area like Oklahoma City, it's like kind of middle of the road. Even that, you should be able to get 20 to 50 leads a month just from Google to give you an idea how much volume you can get here. Once you get that working, you take part of your money and you get Bing ads going. Bing ads is basically just as turnkey. You get the keywords going, and the cost per lead is going to be about 50% less than it is on Google, so an even higher ROI. Problem is, I got clients all the time at our firm, they'll say, Corey, Bing is really working, oh my gosh, because people don't even understand people use Bing. It's 15% of the search market using a search engine is using Bing nowadays. They've gotten pissed off with Google. Google's went too far with their ads and whatnot, and that's the reality. But then I tell them, it's like, hey, there's only a small sliver of people using Bing. I can't just immediately get more people to start using Bing. There's only so much demand there. Yes, it's nice doing Bing because it might be 25% of your profit between Google and Bing because of the lower cost per lead and whatnot and similar closing rates. But there's still only so much to get, and I don't care how much you like it. There's only so much to get. It's just a nice little icing on the cake, basically. With that said, now in order to get these cost per lead, you have to watch my other videos on how to set up really good solid campaigns, landing pages. I don't have time to go into all the detail on that. That's another 30 minutes to an hour video in and itself. And I've got content about how to set up a campaign for a local service company that will crush your competition and will give you these numbers. And if you I can't find it on my channel homepage through the search bar, go ahead and leave a comment below and I'll point you in the right direction of it. But you have to realize, just like what you do in your job, and there's people that do good work. And the difference between that is enormous. Well, there's a way to set up a Google Ads campaign and the good way. And the good way makes millions of dollars. This isn't like a kitchen cabinet where you can kind of, oh, it's good enough, the customer isn't gonna know, whatever. No, you don't set up your Google ads right, you actually lose money to do work. You do not wanna be there, and you don't have to be there if you just set up your ads better than your competition, which is not hard at all to do, like I was mentioning at the start of this video, because so many blue collar guys don't think that they need to work very hard to set this up because they don't think it's that important. You just have to do basic stuff. Unique ads for each keyword, unique landing pages for each keyword, not hiring Joe Schmo to set up your landing page because, oh, the guy down the street says he does landing pages and he charges $5 a page or whatever. And then just get, they know people in our space, just to let you know, they know what you want to hear, which is you can get it done cheap, you can get it done easy. Yeah, they'll give you cheap and easy. Doesn't mean it's going to be profitable. Our average client at our firm, not to brag here, just to give you some context, the average client at our firm has hired at least 3, if not 4 to 5 different agencies before they ever got to us. Why? Because they don't want to spend a lot to hire somebody to get their ad set up the right way. But 90% of our market is just, they're charging you little money because you know you want to hear it and you want to believe it. They give you what you want and what you want to believe, because that's what you want, and it's easy to sell that, to just give you what you want, knowing they can't get you results for that, and then they just take your money, use it to find the next client. Don't be that. If you want to go and teach yourself a lesson, go ahead and do it. At the end of all of that, wasting 6 months, year, 2 years, doing all those, going with all the, to try to get you the right campaign set up, just remember what I'm telling you here. If you don't want to pay the big money, the thousands of dollars a month to hire somebody who's actually going to do it right, then you do it yourself. And all the information's on this channel. You can either do it yourself. Just to give you context on the setups that I do, we're spending hundreds of hours on the initial setup. Not no damn 15 minutes, what everybody wants it to take. And by the way, if it took 15 minutes, everybody in your whole entire market would have already done it already and been successful, and there'd be no opportunity. Everybody knows what Google Ads is. The person that makes the millions is the person who spent more time on it to help the consumers more than the other guy. And that's what it's about. You can't just spend time, and that's the time alone matters. What can you do to make it better than the competition in terms of helping the user find what they want quickly and easy, which is, can you do it? You cover the area, and can they trust you? And you have to make it more obvious than anybody else and easier to buy from you than anybody else for them to click on your ad first, call first, otherwise you make nothing. With that said, once you've made money here, which you should already be able to make literally millions of dollars of revenue a year just getting this done, unless you're in a tiny market where there's like 50,000 people in your area. Then you might be kind of stuck with this. But even then, it's still going to be worth it to do. And you'll have even higher margins. You'll make up for some of it there. But when you make that money, now you parlay it into your YouTube ads, okay? Why? Because a lot of people don't recognize this, but you can target people who are currently actively researching for how to hire a kitchen contractor, what to know about hiring a kitchen contractor before doing it. What does it cost to hire a kitchen contractor? Kitchen remodeling ideas. All that stuff. You get your video ad showing up for them. Why? Because there's at least 10% of them that's probably going to be remodeling their kitchen in the near future. So all you got to do is just say something interesting enough to get them to fill out whatever form you want them to fill out, and you got a shot at the business. What we're typically going to do is we're going to say something like, and we have an ebook put together. Before remodeling your kitchen, here's what you need to know. Do not get ripped off by a kitchen remodeling contractor. And they see that, I have to know what the hell that is, because nobody wants to get ripped off. And it may sound dramatic, but if you're going to be boring, don't waste your time with it. Because if they could go to Google and find the information you're offering them or close to it, and you're going to be paying $10,000 for a lead, so you're wasting your time, it's not going to be profitable. You got to offer something 10 times better than what they can find on Google, one way or another, and that's just the easiest way to do it. Because nobody else has the freaking balls to do what I just told you to do. Oh, we can't do that. Oh, we can't. Well, the consumer wants it. What you think is irrelevant. It's what the consumer wants, not what you want, not what you care about. They want edgy is going to get you the results. You also can do before and afters, which I recommend you do both. Certain people will respond to one versus the other, which is you have an ad, a video ad that pops up for them while they're watching a video about how to remodel their kitchen on YouTube. You start out by saying, want to know the best kitchen remodeling contractor in Dallas? Question mark? Boom. Before and after, before and after, before and after, before and after, before and after. Another ad that works, by the way, is to say, I hired XYZ kitchen remodeling contractor, and I was blown away, let me tell you. Why? Because this and this and this and this, which looks like an organic video, but really it's not, it's an ad. It's an organic piece to look like an ad. And you run that in conjunction. Run all those 3 different offers to that audience, and you'll suck out a great deal of leads from your market that way. More leads than you're going to get from the Google search campaign, which is the reason why you do it, okay? If you do it right, that alone can get you 50 to 100 leads a month. You're going to get, and you should target the videos not just about kitchen remodeling, but about granite countertop installation, about kitchen cabinet installation, and so forth. And of course, to do it right, you can't just say, before you remodel your kitchen, blah, 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 to some guy who's looking for information on how to do granite countertop installation the correct way and not to get ripped off, because it's not relevant enough. This is where people are going to get screwed up. They don't want to spend the time doing different content for different people. They want one piece of content that applies to everybody, and you can do that. You're just going to end up with 25% of the money. So if that's what you want to settle for, be my guest. And again, but with advertising, there's a point where good is not good enough. Either you get the cost per lead you need, or it's pointless, because you're going to lose money at a certain cost per lead, which you got to know what your cost per lead, you got to hit up front, a way to track it. So if you can get as lazy as you want, but then where the rubber meets the road, which is, do you have the lead cost you need? You'll know if you went too lazy or not, and then stop and limit the bleeding at that point in time. Stop, do the work the proper way, so you have a piece of content for granite people, cabinet people, and so forth. Your cost per lead on these, if they're looking actively for content on YouTube, also on different websites where you can run banner ads, which you can target through running display campaigns on through your Google Ads account. If there's a blog where somebody talks about how to hire a kitchen remodeling contractor, you have a banner ad that has that same message on it that I just talked about, or messages for the 3 different types of offers that work. You drive them to the same landing page that the YouTube ads go to, which is the ebook. Or if it was before and afters on your ad itself, then you drive them to a page that has all the rest of your before and afters. You get the general idea. But you're just pulling out any place that someone effectively then does any research before they buy, you're going to be there with a banner ad, with a video ad, okay? With this, between kind of like the average between all the platforms, you should be able to easily get a $30 lead cost if you go niche enough with your content and you don't puss out on the type of content that you need, in terms of not going edgy enough and giving the consumer what they actually want to know, which is how not to get ripped off, to see, basically what's the best stuff in the area, or to get customer opinions itself. Ad where you, by the way, have the customer pretends like they're giving a review, like I talked about earlier. That should just drive a random landing page that offers your service as is on your website in terms of landing page. It's $30 a lead, and then you should close like 5% of those leads. That is if you call the leads within 2 minutes of the form being filled out, or they get to your site. There's tools out there when somebody fills out a form, you can immediately have a call placed to your salesperson that says, John Smith just filled out your form. He's reading your ebook that you put together, or he just filled out the form, whatnot, for the different offers like I talked about. Do you want to call John Smith right now? Press 1 if so. Yes. Boom. You hit 1. Immediately a call gets placed to the person who just filled out the form. You talk to them. And if they're not ready to buy yet, you say, on the ebook thing, you say, hey, I just noticed you downloaded my ebook. Hey, I can tell you anything you want to know about remodeling your kitchen. I'm here for free advice. Let them start talking. The longer you talk to them, the more likely they're going to go with you. That's pretty simple. You also can, though, when you made money doing that, that's what you start with. Why? Because when somebody's actively looking for information about how to buy, they are super receptive to information like I just told you about, because it's directly tied to what they want. And what they're seeing on YouTube is probably generic, and your goal is to make the content and / ad that you have on your ads better than the content that's on YouTube, so they'll literally stop watching the YouTube video they were watching to go and look at your content. And if it's not, you can imagine why they would just not care, okay? But once you've tackled that, you got everything you can out of it. You're getting your 100 leads a month, you're closing another 20 jobs a month, you've maxed it out, which you're gonna have to run the campaign for a while with your tracking set up right, and for the Google machine learning to work and narrow down the ads that are working versus not working to get you the cost per lead you want. And 6 months down the road, or 12 months down the road, you've got a very effective campaign pulling in 100 leads a month at $30 a lead. Just know it's not going to be turned on and it's immediately working, because while a magazine ad will work that way, online ads, don't work like that anymore. They try, Google gets you in front of 100 places, they find the 3 that work, boom, they focus on the 3. They try another 100, boom, they find another 3 that work. And you can't get to the 3 without advertising to the 100. 5,000 videos you can advertise on in your local market, which I didn't clarify here. You target everybody within your general market that's doing research, right? And there's 5,000 videos possible to watch on kitchen remodeling and another 5,000 websites, web pages on websites to target. There's gonna be 50 of them that are gonna work for you. And you just, once you find them, it just works and it works and it works. On web pages, by the way, you need to target the actual web page. You can't target a whole website talking about this and that. You target an individual page about kitchen remodeling, and you can find that by finding what pages rank high for how to, remodel my kitchen and so forth on Google, because that's gonna be the pages that most people go to, just so that you know. And there's a way to do that. Like, I'm not gonna get into, you have to watch my other videos for that, but once you've got all that taken care of, now you can create what are called custom intent audiences, where if somebody's typed in, on the campaigns that you should have already running over here, kitchen remodeling service, granite countertop installation service, whatever, you have an ad show up for them after they made that search on Google recently. Within the next 30 days, you know they're in market. These are now what you've created for yourself as an in-market audience. You could target the same exact ads I talked about to the same people, okay? And all you're trying to do is say something, anything to get their attention. If you have to say, if you respond to this form, we'll lick your feet. You do what you need to do. Because every single lead you get, you'll work it. You know the person's in market for a kitchen remodeling job. You have a shot at the business. So what you say is less important as will it get somebody to respond? These type of leads will be more so though like $75 a lead. Why? Because when they're not actively looking at the content that you want that matches what you're offering, they're way less likely to respond. That's why you start with people marketing to people who are looking at information about kitchen remodeling. Then if they just searched for it in the past recently, then you go after them next because the cost per lead is way higher. However, what makes up for this is a higher closing rate. Well, at least if you're targeting keywords that match like kitchen remodeling contractor, kitchen remodeling service. Why? Because these are people who have admitted that they're going to hire a contractor. They're not just looking for remodeling ideas, so on and so forth. They actually say they're going to hire somebody. It's just a matter of who, or at least most of them anyway. So your closing rates are going to be much higher on those leads when you finally do get them to respond. If they're watching a funny cat video and they've searched for a home remodeling contractor within the last 2 weeks, they still haven't made a decision, your ad pops up saying, hey, you want to know the best remodeling contractor in your area? It's this company, and here's why, and here's the before and afters, and then they respond. Those leads are so good still. They're just as good as the Google leads. And actually a little bit better because on Google, you're one of many there on Google. They saw that ad and you said how good you are and you're better than everybody else and they respond. They're going to close at even a little bit better rate, believe it or not. So you're going to get 30% closing rates on these leads. So even a little bit better than what you're going to get over here on the Google leads when they respond. It's just the lead cost is going to be much higher. Your lead cost is going to be determined on how good your offer is more than anything else. Because the targeting, I told you how to do the targeting. You can't make it any more targeted. You can go get leads for $30. Or you could get leads for $500, depending on how spicy that offer is. So that gives you a general idea of what works in terms of kitchen remodeling advertising. If you want to do it, if you get all that to work, you could run Facebook ads to people that are in market for kitchen remodeling, which you buy data lists from companies that are in market, that you know people that have been to a home show in the recent past or whatnot. You upload that email list of people who filled out a form at a home show, for example, to your Facebook account, and you start running ads towards them with a similar pitch. A pitch that, if they respond to it, they're interested in home remodeling. Your typical, hey, you want to buy? Hey, we can get your quote. It's not enough, and it's too aggressive. You got to schmooze them. Just be answering questions, no pitching. If you've talked to them more than 20 minutes, that's the time when you could pitch, but not before. This isn't, hey, there's a really hot chick over there and I really want to get with her. Let's go up to her and ask her if she wants to go back to my place like instantly. Of course that's not going to work. It doesn't make it, you're still the same person, but you're going to get the better closing rate if you talk to her for 20 minutes first. This is the same kind of deal. So anyway, with that said, now I made it sound as simple as I can. It's still a ton of work to set this up. Even just one platform and doing it right. If you want somebody who knows how to do it reach out to me at my firm. We'll set it all up for you. We guarantee your results. That is, get to a certain minimum amount of leads before we take a fee. You can reach out to us at guaranteedppc.com. We also sell templates. If you want to just buy the ad templates that work for the kitchen remodeling space, we sell them. We sell them for a 4-figure fee because they're valuable. But if you just want to copy paste your way to success, you can use those templates. We've got 100+ different templates for sale, by the way. If you wanted to start a new business, the easiest damn way to do that is to take a template that we know sells XYZ product or service well in another geographic area that you're in, do it your market, and you can make money, or in a different country or whatnot. It's as close to a business in a box as you can get, given a lot of the stuff you can do on your own very easily or get from China very easily. Templates have been very popular, having over 100 niche market templates available. Tell you what the results you're going to get with it up front. A lot of people have been buying these from us as well, so I just wanted to bring that up since it's been more and more popular at our firm all the time and nobody else is really doing that. But with that said, if you have any individual questions about anything I covered here, just leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. So that gives you an idea how profitable this stuff is. I talked about several times how the devil's still in the details. I didn't misrepresent anything, but this assumes you know how to set up a good search campaign, know how to click the right buttons to set up your YouTube campaign the right way without screwing it up, because it's easy to have one lever that's not flipped right and the whole thing fails. Watch my other videos on this channel. Therefore, with that, you should be subscribed to this channel already, because the information that you need, all those fine details, it's all given to you for free on this channel. And it's given to you by somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing and strategy at our firm. That is my sole job at our firm, to find out what works and what doesn't work. You can't get more relevant information about what works to run online ads for your business than you're going to find on this channel as a result. Most of the other content you're going to find on YouTube and online about how to do ad strategy to make millions of dollars a year for your business is going to be given to you by somebody with literally no experience. They don't run any ads, or they run a couple ads, they're blowing smoke up. They're just trying to sell you courses. They don't really are in the trenches doing work on a day-to-day basis, which you've got to have to know what the hell's working on an ongoing basis. If you like the channel, you also should be looking at my blog as well, by the way. I have a great blog that I write at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has step-by-step information to deploy the certain strategies that we use to guarantee results for our clients. You should check that out as well. It has screenshots. Everything you need to do the stuff that we know that works already for your business is there, so you should check that out. Most people who like the channel like the blog as well. I think I've given you a pretty good idea at a high level what you should be focusing on for your business. If it seems overwhelming, start with one small piece of what I said here. Just start targeting people that are looking for kitchen remodeling services on Google. And then even within that, just pick one keyword or 2 keywords. Kitchen remodeling near me is the most profitable term you basically are going to have. Just make that work. Then when you make that work, add it in a few other keywords. Then keep going. Everything I'm talking about here could take you years to build up and to parlay the money you're making from one thing into doing the next and then the next and then the next. Most of the people that I work with that are really rich from running ads, we've built that up over 5-10 years. Because when you start a campaign, it isn't profitable right away. It takes a few months. Then you got to start the next thing up, and that takes a few months. If you just keep doing it as if your life depended on it, you're going to get to the end result. Why? Because most of the people in your market to do the work that it takes to get those results. They just want it to be easy. Oh, if it's not easy, I don't care. I don't care. And for them, they are entitled. They think it needs to be easy, or it should be easy, and then they blame Google. Oh, Google's a ripoff. Oh, YouTube ads. It's a ripoff. And they just don't know. They don't want to do the time, put the work in to understand what their consumers they want to sell to want to hear from them, therefore they fail. If they just understood what they wanted and gave it to them, they would make money. It's really that simple. Yes, it takes work, but anything in life that's worth anything does take work, and it's not easy to get. Fortunately for you, you've got somebody who really is giving you real information about what works. And all you got to do is just do the work versus I don't know what works, which most people have, they don't even know where to start. With that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said video ad was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.